Yo, what's up, everybody? This is Jordan L. Jones, and I'm playing the iconic Jazz on the new hit show BelAir on Peacock, premiering February 13th, right after the Super Bowl. And I'm doing my interview with Elias on the Man Cave Chronicles podcast.
Jordan, welcome to the cave.
Hey, man. Thanks for having me. What's up, man?
Thank you for joining me, man. Exciting times for you, the listeners, the viewers, I know we're recording this a few days before the premiere. I've already had the privilege to watch it, BelAir on Peacock, and you're playing Jazz, which is loosely based on the DJ Jazzy Jeff, man. That's got to be an exciting thing for you, man.
Oh, man. I mean, it's beyond exciting just to have that responsibility in a way to bring what he brought in a different way. Obviously, this is an hour-long drama, but just to bring what he brought and the energy and just just because he's such an iconic character and this is such an iconic show that they trusted me, to be a part of it and to bring what I bring to make the show better. I mean, it's just surreal.
So before we jump into more into that, I mean, I was trying to do some research on you and everything. Like, you grew up in the entertainment industry. What made you go for it, though?
It's funny story. My mom, she didn't want me to really act. My mom is the most supportive person that I have. But in all honesty, she didn't want me to act just for reasons where it's hard. It's a hard industry. It's the profession of no. Yeah. My mother's an actress. Tosha Story. She is on Tyler Perry's The Oval. She's on Young and Restless. Yeah. She's doing her thing. So yes, I grew up in the entertainment industry. I don't know. I just grew up like a class clown, and and everybody was like, "Dude, I mean, you got to be on TV. You got to use this to, your advantage." So after I graduated USC, I just was like, I want to act. I want to act. I want to entertain people. If it's laughing, drama, whatever. I happen to be really good at comedy, but any way to be in the entertainment industry and just entertain people, that's what I was about. So, and the rest is history, man.
You mentioned the comedy. Have you thought about like trying to like stand-up comedy, like something in that world?
I've done it a couple of times actually, okay. And then when I first started, the pandemic hit, and so I just kind of took a break from it. Acting is really my first love. I just love portraying characters or bringing myself to a character. So I definitely am looking forward to doing more of that. We in shooting next week, so I might start doing it again. I don't know how the clubs and stuff are now, but yeah, I might start doing that again for real.
So, growing up and everything, I know, like, you looked up to your mother, you looked up into the industry. Like, who else did you like look up to and influence you?
I'm not even trying to be cliche. I'll explain it so it's not cliche. People ask me like who my inspirations are.
Yeah.
I have 4. It's Eddie Murphy, Martin Lawrence, Jim Carrey, Will Smith. And not saying Will Smith just to say it. I mean, for my comedic element, the physical comedy, that's where Martin Lawrence comes in. That's where Eddie Murphy comes in. But when it comes to, I can do comedy, I can do drama, I can do anything you want me to do. That's the kind of my career trajectory that I want. And that right there is where I really, really was looking up to Will. Just from, he can play so many different roles. Like he can play a really comedic actor, right? Obviously, yeah. Fresh Prince. He can play serious as hell. Pursuit of Happiness, I Am Legend. I mean, anything. He can play like a smooth, suave guy, Hitch. Yeah. He can play the sexy heartthrob, and even still funny in Bad Boys. So you have Martin Lawrence, who I also look up to for the physical comedy and all that. And Will Smith is still funny in that, but he, Mike Lowry, he's still the smile, like the smooth guy. And he can play, if he wanted to, he can play the Martin Lawrence character. Yeah. So just the idea of like not ever being put in a box. And just the fact that he's like now my boss and I got a chance to meet him. Yeah, I mean, I still can't breathe from yesterday.
That's awesome. And you mentioned Bad Boys. There's going to be another one eventually coming out. Maybe you can get in now with this one.
Yeah, maybe me and Jabari can do Bad Boys 4. For real, that'll be insane.
So yeah, let's jump into BelAir, man. Like when you first got approached for the project, you went for your audition. Is that who you originally went in for? And when you read the script, did you have any idea this is what it was going to be?
Well, when I got the audition, I had no idea what it was going to be. But yes, I auditioned for Jazz, and like everybody did, when I just got the call from my manager, I was like what, like what is this going to be a comedy? Like, because I know we can't do a comedy. And I look at the breakdown, and I see it's Morgan Cooper, who did the original trailer, and I was like, I remember him. This is the guy who switched it all up, yada yada yada.
Yeah.
So I read the script and I was like, oh hell yeah, this is great, because it's still Jazz's character is still comedic, but he's also dramatic and real, like just a real person. So I did the audition, man. And the funny thing about the audition is I didn't think that I got the role, because I've been on a few shows, and my last series regular, I was on the Rel show, and to do the chemistry read with Rel, the director kept telling me to switch everything. So when I walked out of there, I was like, I didn't get it because I didn't do it right, basically. I did a scene, he was like, do it another way. I did it again, he said, do it another way. So I didn't get it. I ended up getting it, and it was because he was like, I want to know if you can take direction. I want to know if you can improv quickly. I want to know this. So coming into the audition with Morgan, it was just like this, and it was with Jabari and Morgan Cooper. And I literally did the first scene. He was like, okay, great, scene 2. And then I was like, this scene 2. He was like, okay, great. Hey, thanks a lot. And after, I immediately called my mom. I said, I didn't get it. She was like, wow, you messed up? I said, I didn't mess up. I just didn't get it. Because he didn't ask me to do anything. Fast forward to the first day of shooting, we all had lunch together. And he was like, yo, so how'd you feel when you got the call? And I was like, well, honestly, I didn't think I was going to get this. What are you, like, shit, like, what are you talking about? Like, I thought it was over with. And he said, man, when you first popped up on the screen and I saw your energy, I already knew it was you.
Wow.
I was like, awesome. Wow. So I was like, so I was freaking out for 5 days and you couldn't tell me nothing. You know what I'm saying? So that was, it was so surreal to me. And also, like, you never know in Hollywood how people are going to cast you, about your talent. Like, all that doesn't matter. You just got to really be you and just really go forward, man. Seriously.
That's awesome. So, like, for the listeners and viewers, hopefully they'll get a chance to watch the show. This is not a comedy like the original one. This is more of a drama now. Like, how do you want to play this character different to the comedy version? Like, so what kind of research did you do to play this character?
Well, I think that's a great question, honestly. And I think that a lot of people think that, like, we're trying to hone into what the characters were and how am I going to play it like Jazz. Like, it's actually the complete opposite. I mean, right. Will Smith and, Morgan, like you said, this is a drama. This is a dramatic series where, yes, I have comedic moments in life. In a dramatic lifestyle, there's funny moments, Yeah. Like in the like you said, you watched it when we pull up to the house and I'm like, I didn't know your parents was white. Like, yes, that's comedic, but it's a serious moment of like, I'm from the hood. I've never seen this before. So that element, number one, is the comedy is different, where it's like, yes, it's funny, but it's all in serious situations. But to answer your question, really, it's like, I didn't really I'm not studying Jazz. Number one, I've seen every episode of Fresh Prince 100 times. I watched it last night going to bed. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not, of course, the swagger, the shades, the relationship between him and Will, his relationship, those are the same. But the storyline and plot is completely different. So they didn't want us to be like, hey, how would Hillary from the first one do this? How would Uncle Phil from the first do this? That's not what we're doing. And we're all bringing our own interpretation of the character to it. And I think that's what makes it so good. I think that's literally what makes it so good, that they didn't force us to be like, hey, so Carlton will do the Carlton dance, right? So you got to do it like this. And no, it's not like that, man. It's real. It's true to today's day. Today, like this era, in 2022, it's just true to this time frame. And I'm just blessed to be a part of it, honestly.
You get a chance now to meet Jazz, just even just get some ideas off each other, how to play them?
Well, I mean, I actually met him yesterday, and it was such a great moment. It was like that Spider-Man meme when they're all looking at each other. Like, yeah. it was insane. But I mean, just to kind of reiterate, he didn't really need to tell me anything. like there wasn't like sit down of like, hey, so like this is how I played it, and this is how you should know. I don't even think that they don't want that at all. I think that would make, honestly, not make it bad, but I just don't think the show would be as good if we were trying to chase something that's already been done.
Yeah. Now, did he have a chance to watch this, and what did he say about the way
oh yeah, man. I mean, number one, everybody from the original, everybody was like, this is the shit. This, y'all did it. Even after yesterday premiere, afterwards, we was all in a huddle with like Will and everybody. And Will was literally like, yeah, we gonna call this the hater breaker. Cause a lot of people wanted to hate on this. That's what Will said yesterday. Said a lot of people wanted to hate on this. And I understand, like, from the get-go, I wasn't a hater, but I was skeptical until I read the script. But no one gets a chance to see any of that until Sunday. So I'm ahead of the curve, and I'm like, man, we about to blow everybody out the water. And I don't blame people for their skepticism, but I just can't wait till Sunday so they can just sit back, relax. And from the first couple scenes, you'll be like, oh snap, this is different. From the trailer, you're like, oh, this is not, got it, so I'm excited for that.
And actually, if from what I've seen, like you watch an episode, you're like, oh, I gotta watch the next one. I gotta watch the next one. It's like it hooks you in.
Oh, 100%. People were mad yesterday because for the premiere, we only played the first episode.
Yeah.
But the first 3 come out Sunday. So it was like the first episode, and then it ends on this like cliffhanger, and they're like, all right, well, episode 2, is it coming on right now? Wait till Sunday.
What did you love about this character? And is there anything that you would change about him if you could?
I mean, like, if I want to change something about it, I'll probably do it when we're shooting tomorrow. But no, I'm glad. But I think I enjoy this interpretation of the show. It's not necessarily about the character. I mean, like I explained, I think that Jazz's character in this is more of like a confidant and someone to come to that Will's, like, I see myself in Will, because Will's coming from West Philadelphia. I'm in Compton. We inner city kids that's going through kind of like certain struggles and kind of hood struggles in a way. Yeah. And he's like this fish out of water when he comes all the way to Bel-Air. He has this rich, wealthy family, and and like he's about to attend this really like white school, and this is just a different world for him. So getting advice from Uncle Phil is great, and getting advice from Aunt Viv is great. But when you want to hear the real, you go back to the real, and he doesn't have that because he's not in Philly. So I'm kind of like the big bro or the conscience or the wisdom aspect. It's kind of like, you can talk to your mom or your dad, whoever you're close with, about anything. But there's sometimes where you got to just talk to the bro. You got to talk to the bro about it. I know they're going to understand, but they're not going to understand like my bro will. Right. So I feel like I love that aspect of this. In the first one, it wasn't like that, but it was just more like we all hanging, in the first one. Everyone's hanging, having fun, cracking jokes at different scenarios. But, Jazz and Will never had any like heart-to-hearts.
Right.
You're going to see more of that in this one.
That's awesome. Now, we mentioned Will Smith is the producer of the show, like, and he's doing a lot of things behind the scenes. When you first met him and the whole cast met him, what's the one advice that he gave you guys about this?
Just to be yourself. And I know that sounds so cliche, but I mean, I think it goes back to, he kind of was like, we picked you guys for a reason. Like, I didn't just pick you guys with like this, at the end of the day, like, this is his show. His name is attached to it. Like, it's Morgan Cooper's idea creation, but it took Will Smith to be like, I like that. But the thing about Will Smith in Westbrook and whatever, he's not going to attach his name to something he's not going to think is good.
Right.
So after reading the script, and that's fully Morgan, boom, I like it. Okay, casting. Okay, let me look at everyone's audition. Wow, I love them all. There's nothing much he can say, he wants to say. I'm going to let y'all do your thing because you already been doing your thing. Morgan, you already wrote this and I loved it. Why would I come in and try to change it to something? No. So everything is so genuine. And I think that he really wanted it to be that way, and not all these hands from other places. Oh, it gets picked up by Peacock. All right, well, Peacock execs change this and change that. And change. That's not what he wanted. So I'm really thankful to him that he's not so hands-on. He's not on set every day. He's not like, hey, this out. No, like, I think that wouldn't make for the best show. And I think that we got something good on our hands, seriously.
Yeah. And it was just announced like the other day too, like season 2. You guys are going to start filming season 2.
We got okay for 2 seasons off the bat. So We
Yeah.
like, so we gotta be good. We gotta be good, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
come on.
right. That's right. So you mentioned Jabari, he plays Will. Did you
Yeah.
know him before this show or is that the first time you met him too?
I did not, but I would say this seriously that me and him have gotten so close. We should have known each other before the show,
Okay.
honestly. I think the reason why we got so close is that our characters are so similar. I'm from Los Angeles. I know how this goes over here. I'm from Inglewood, California, not Compton, but close. My mom took me out of like the public school um, factor or whatever you want to call it, and put me in a private school. So I was a fish out of water first, and then went to USC and kind of got acclimated to living this whole entire life, but staying true to myself always.
Yeah.
And Jabari's actually from Philly, and when he got here, he had never been to LA.
Wow.
So when I was like, let's hang, let's go around, show him the ropes in a way, kind of like a big bro, kind of like the show. So I think that helped with the chemistry, and also just being dudes and being around the same age. And Los Angeles is so much to do, and so many journeys me and him have already been on, man. Me and him have really gotten really tight. We really have. I can honestly call him a brother of mine now. Seriously. He slept on my couch. Yeah,
that's awesome.
I leave him here if I gotta go do something. Like it's really like a brotherly connection. So yeah.
Actually, my next question was going to be like, so now that you guys became pretty much like best friends off air, how do you describe the chemistry now in the show with you two?
Oh, it's great. I mean, I don't even feel like when I'm there, I'm like acting. Like, of course it's a job, but we all are so close that we run our lines and stuff like that. But one of the things that I do, especially as an artist and an actor, once you learn your lines and stuff, like you throw it away. You just get in the moment. You might say something different, but it might be something different that's better. Just now the concept and everything. And I'm not saying forget the lines, obviously say what you're saying, but with me and him, especially in our scenes, like we just feel each other, like we just look at each other and I feel you and I'm responding. Really, I'm not waiting on a cue. I'm responding to what you say. And I feel like that all comes from being close outside set. And it's not just Jabari, Simone, who plays Lisa, Ali, who plays Carlton, Hillary who plays Coco. Like we're all close. We all hang out, laugh, joke, inside jokes, all that. And every set doesn't have that. So it's a beautiful thing that we can do that. And then when we do go to work, it's like we was hanging out yesterday. It's the same thing, except there's cameras around us.
It's funny because you hear stories from like other shows or films and like they just go in, read their lines, and they leave. They don't want to even like communicate with the other or like what you said, family.
Because it's a job. But what my mom always says, and probably, my mom told me it probably is a saying that other people use, but if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. That's awesome. And that's exactly how I feel. Like, I don't feel like I'm working. A matter of fact, the days where I'm not shooting, I'll go to set anyway, just to be around. I'm not like, distracted. Of course, they got stuff to do, but like, I'm chilling at lunchtime. We hanging out, chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool. But seriously, like, if you go to work on your day off, something special.
That's right. So it premieres in a few days, 3 episodes you mentioned. What do you hope, like, the next day when you wake up, what do you want to see between like social media and like reviews and everything? What are you hoping you hear? I
just genuinely, I hope to hear everybody raving about how good the show is. And I don't say that just like lightly. I say that meaning in comparison to the original. And not like better than the original. I'm not saying that. Just everything that we've been hearing is, oh, is this going to happen because that happened? Because, the original. Oh, I wonder how Jazz is going to be. Oh, I don't think they should do this. Oh, this. And then the trailer dropped and they're like, oh my God, it's different. But I think we still have this connotation where it's like certain, like, even when you watch Fresh Prince, maybe a specific episode from season 2 or something where Hillary and her fiance like jumps off the bungee cord. Will you marry me?
Yeah.
People are expecting like every single moment that happened. And it's like, why would we do that? Of course we throw a lot of nods to the original, a lot. You'll see as I drive, you saw I had the dice in the mirror, license plate said fresh. We throw the nods, but it's not the same show. It's not. It's a whole different take on the show. So what I'm excited for is for people to watch the show as what it is and not be like, oh, the new Fresh Prince. Like, I don't want to hear the new Fresh Prince in a month. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to be like, hey, we watching BelAir on Sunday.
Yeah. And it's
like,
great
the
too,
Fresh
because
Prince
like,
is here. We're BelAir.
that's right. And the good, the good and the great thing is like, I grew up in the 80s and the 90s. Fresh Prince, like to this day, if I'm flipping the channels, I leave it on because everybody enjoyed watching that show. So we're hoping maybe 10, 20 years from now, it's going to be like that for BelAir.
Man, oh man, I mean, that will be a blessing. Oh my God, that would be insane. I think that would be insane. And that's what we, I do my art for, and I try to kill every single time. And I hope it does end up like that for real.
That's awesome.
I really do, man.
So now what's next for you now? Like, you got any other projects you're going to work on after you finish filming this, or are you guys jumping right into season 2 of filming?
I'm not sure exactly when we start season 2, like filming, if it's going to be like shortly after or whatever. But for the projects I have coming up, I can't really speak about them right now.
Okay.
But just, be on the lookout for me. Follow me, Jordan.L.Jones on Instagram, Jordan L. Jones _ on Twitter. And I'll keep y'all updated.
That's awesome. Jordan, man, this was great. Thank you for coming on, and good luck with the show.
Phenomenal, man. This is phenomenal. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.